はい、皆さん、こんにちは。Welcome back. お帰りなさい. This is Unit 12 2. What we learn in this unit is these two sentence patterns, もしか and たりする. These are the sentence patterns that kind of convey a subtle feelings or meaning that you have. So these are not just grammatically important, but also they are useful in kind of like expressing like a subtle feelings or impressions that you have on something. And this is also the sentence patterns that are frequently used among Japanese people as well. So let's learn them together and make your speech more natural. Right. So first sentence pattern that we want to learn is using the number plus mo or shika. Adding one of these phrases at the end, mo or shika, this gives the meaning of like as many as or as few as. So this can basically express what you feel about the number. For example, 私の両親は、so my parents, 犬を5匹も飼っています。Normally, without the も、私の両親は犬を5匹飼っています。That's a very neutral sentence. Like, my parents have 5 dogs. That does convey the fact that my parents have 5 dogs, but if you add も、5匹も飼っています。That adds as many as this meaning. So like, this can basically express that my parents has as many as 5 dogs, and I think that's a lot. Second sentence. 私の会社には先輩が1人しかいません。1人しかいません。When you say just 1人います, that's like I have one senior worker in my company. That's very neutral, but 1人しかいません. When you say しか, that emphasizes that only one senior employee. So you think that's very few. There should be more. So adding number plus more or shika expresses that what you think about the number. You think that number is a lot, and you can basically express your surprise when you use the mo. Or when you use shika, you can emphasize that you think that's a few number. That's a very small number, only something. Just one thing though, when you use shika, be careful. Shika always has to end in a negative verb or adjective. So when you use shika, 一人しかいません has to be in the negative form. So be careful with that. Now, second sentence pattern is using the verb たりする. たりする. If you make it into English, it's probably going to be something like do such things as V1 and V2. What it means is that you can describe two actions, but you are suggesting that this is only an example of out of the many things that I do. Just a few examples from the list. So if you look at the example, there's a question. 休みの時は何をしますか? So in your daytime off, what do you do? 休みの時は何をしますか? Your answer. 料理をしたり、洗濯をしたりします。料理をしたり、洗濯をしたりします。Now, if you look at the sentence, you can get that there's two actions mentioned: 料理をしたり、洗濯をしたり, cooking and laundry, doing the washings. Now, what it means is that you don't just cook and wash, but there are many things that you do. But for example, if I name a few, there is cooking, there is laundry, etc. This etc. meaning this is what we do by using the たり. So I'm just naming 料理 and 洗濯 as examples, but there's actually many things, but these are only the few of the examples. So this is basically structured to help list multiple actions without mentioning every single one, listing every single one. So this is very commonly used among Japanese speakers. It's going to be very helpful if you remember and use it.